Offer the sacrifices of righteousness, and put your trust in the Lord. Psalms chapter 4 verse 5. In this verse, David calls the believer to offer sacrifices, but not just any sacrifice, sacrifices that are rooted in righteousness. This speaks to the sincerity and purity of the heart, and the call to align one's actions with God's will. It is a reminder that mere outward rituals, if not accompanied by a heart that seeks righteousness, are not pleasing to God. To offer sacrifices of righteousness is to live a life that reflects God's holiness, justice, and goodness, and to demonstrate these qualities through our actions and choices. Furthermore, David directs the believer to put their trust in the Lord, highlighting that faith in God is the foundation of all righteousness. Offer the sacrifices of righteousness. David begins with the exhortation to offer sacrifices of righteousness. This implies that our sacrifices, whether they be acts of worship, service, or personal sacrifice, should be offered from a place of right standing with God. The sacrifices of righteousness are not limited to external actions, but must come from a heart that is surrendered to God's will. In the Old Testament, sacrifices were offered as atonement for sin, but David emphasizes that the true sacrifice is one that comes from a heart purified by righteousness. Such sacrifices are pleasing to God because they reflect a genuine love for Him and a desire to live according to His ways. And put your trust in the Lord. David then reminds us that trust in the Lord is paramount to offering sacrifices that are acceptable to Him. Trusting in the Lord means surrendering our lives to His sovereignty and believing in His goodness, faithfulness, and power. It is through this trust that our hearts are strengthened to live righteously and to endure the trials of life. Putting trust in God is not a passive act, but an active decision to rely on Him fully, both in the moments of ease and in the challenges we face. Trusting in God empowers us to live according to His will, offering sacrifices that align with His holiness and love. Conclusion. In this verse, David challenges us to move beyond mere outward acts of worship and to offer sacrifices that reflect righteousness, acts that flow from a heart fully committed to God. These sacrifices are not just about what we give, but about the state of our hearts as we give them. And in the midst of offering these sacrifices, we are called to trust in the Lord. Trusting God forms the foundation for a life of righteousness, and it is through trusting Him that we can offer sacrifices that honor His holiness. For the believer today, this verse serves as a reminder that our actions must be rooted in righteousness, and that our trust in the Lord is what enables us to live lives that reflect His goodness and glory.